This week on The Breakout,
Hegseth heads to the Hill,
and an F-35 scoop. Welcome to The Breakout. I'm Aaron Mehta.
and I'm Lee Farron.
Lee, this week, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, along with Chairman of the Joint Chiefs Dan Kane, are headed to the Hill for a series of three different hearings that are probably going to get a little wild.
They're certainly going to be interesting because Hegseth hasn't really faced lawmakers since his confirmation hearing, and that had some fireworks in it.
Yeah, Hegseth barely squeaked through in that one, and I expect that we're going to see a lot of pointed questions.
We've got, going back to Signalgate, you've got some of the DEI measures the Pentagon has undertaken, you've got renaming of ships and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But this week, we probably think the news of the day may overrun a lot of that.
Yeah, and that news of the day is what's going on in California, specifically Los Angeles. As we're recording this Monday morning, National Guard troops have been federalized by President Trump over the objections of California Governor Gavin Newsom and sent to LA. Newsom says, hey, we've got this in hand. Trump and Hegseth are saying this is a critical situation and we need forces in there. This is now a massive, almost unprecedented use of military in states' rights, blue state versus red state, Donald Trump versus Gavin Newsom. And now Hegseth's going to go up and going to get a lot of questions.
There are going to be sharp questions, certainly about that, about presidential overreach and stuff like that. And it probably will overshadow what these hearings are supposed to be about, which is the budget, the non-existent budget.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It can overshadow the budget in part because we don't have a budget still. Russ Vought, who's the OMB director, has said we're not going to put our budget out until reconciliation is done. That could take a couple more weeks. But it's a really unprecedented situation when we talk about the budget because it's never been really out this late. We're under a CR already. We have the reconciliation dark magic going on. It's just nobody really has a budget to mark up, but the process kind of demands that they're going forward.
So you know that everyone's going to be paying a lot of attention to these hearings, not only for the news of the day in California, but if you're in industry, if you're in the Pentagon, you want to know what direction are we going in here, what programs are going to survive, which ones are going to be cut. It's all going to be very, very complicated.
Yeah, so it's going to be a really busy week. Obviously, stay on the site to get the latest. We're going to take a quick break. When we're back, we're going to replace Lee with Michael Morrow. He's going to talk through a story that he and Valerie and Cinna wrote last week.
At Leonardo DRS, our agility helps bring the ability to dominate in any scenario, on any platform, helping our warfighters accomplish the mission and get home safely. Leonardo DRS, our agility, your advantage.
Okay, I'm joined now by Michael Morrow. He's our Air Force reporter. Michael, we want to talk about a story that you and our colleague Val had based a scoop that you had last week about the F-35 radar. Walk us through what we know.
Right. So for a few years now, it's been the plan to cut in the APG-85. That's a new radar manufactured by Northrop Grumman to replace the F-35's current APG-81, also made by Northrop Grumman. Mm-hmm. This new radar is supposed to provide the very best capabilities against emerging threats. Mm-hmm. Air warfare, goes out longer and longer range. I'm sure there are many capabilities in this radar that they need.
Which they don't like to talk about.
Right. But there are issues, and that's what this story is about, which is that we obtained a letter from Lockheed CEO Jim Takelet addressed to Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin, laying out mitigation measures for the delivery of the radar, specifically as it comes to Lot 20.
Yeah, so let's just spell out. Lot 17 is where this had been expected to come in. That's already under contract and starting production. Lot 20 is probably a couple of years later. So this is potentially a shift in timeline, but it's a little unclear still if that's saying there will definitely be an issue in Lot 20 getting it to there. It's just, there's a lot of kind of unknown factors with this.
Right, so there's a lot we don't know. We don't know specifically when the APG-85 is supposed to cut into production. The Joint Program Office told us in a statement that Lot 17 is supposed to be in the initial fielding, but we talked to people who raised doubt about that, frankly. So we don't know specifically when the radar will cut in, but what we do know is this mitigation measure that Lockheed is looking at would enable the F-35, beginning in Lot 20, to carry either the APG-81 or the new APG-85, and it would involve a redesign of the aircraft's fuselage, where the forward fuselage, where the radar is housed, to be able to accommodate either of these systems. So at the very least, we can say that the program deems it necessary to have this measure in place for Lot 20, which would suggest it would be a problem.
Yeah, clearly there's real concern on the part of Lockheed and the JPO about being able to get this ready. Otherwise, you don't have things like a company saying, we're preparing a new front fuselage design just in case.
Exactly.
All right, so a lot that we don't fully know there, but a lot that we expect will keep coming out. This is obviously a sensitive issue for a lot of people. Okay, so no breakout next week because Michael, myself, a whole big chunk of the team are going to be in Paris for the Paris Air Show. Instead, we're going to be doing daily videos from the flight line. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to check that out. Still, make sure you like and subscribe so that when we're back, you get the breakout delivered directly to you.
And wherever you get your podcast, search Breaking Defense and listen every week.
All right, thanks for watching. I'm Aaron Mehta.
And I'm Michael Morrow.